Hey everybody, you're watching the Christiana 321. I am the Christiana, and it's time for my January book haul. Hey Fortune. Here's the thing, I went a little bit crazy in January when it comes to buying books, but a lot of them are actually children's books. This bag of books, those are all children's books for my my sister is having a baby soon, and her baby shower is book themed. I'm not going to be showing all of the books because that would ruin the surprise. Perhaps I will film another video that will come out after the baby shower about what we did with the books. But Courtney, if you're watching this, go back in time and don't watch that part. But you can start watching now. So, in total I bought 31 books. A lot of them were children's books, but also I found a new secondhand bookstore that was pretty good. Maybe one of these days I'll do a vlog of the different independent bookstores in the area. This one had a lot, but it was all secondhand, and I really want to find a bookstore that has a mix of secondhand books and new books, because I don't know, there are some books that I really like that are new. But I'm gonna try and not buy any books in February, so we'll see how that goes. These first 3 books I technically bought on like December 31st or December 30th, but it was after I'd already filmed my December haul video and I didn't feel like refilming it. So those ones are Jennette McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. This, Mom, if you're watching, not anything personal. Jennette McCurdy was a child star on iCarly, and this is talking about, yeah, her experience with that and how her mom was not very nice. I've heard some of the stories, like I watched some of her talk shows, and I've seen plenty of booktubers reviewing this book, and it sounds crazy, but also I hear it's written very well. So I'm excited to read it. I'm a little nervous to read it. I like the style. Like, it was published last year, but it looks like it was published in the 90s, basically, like one of the old Babysitter Club books. I've also got 84 Charing Cross Road, which is, oh, gosh, there is a word for it, where it's all just letters that got sent to 84 Charing Cross Road. I don't remember if this is based on a real story. But basically it was a bookstore, and people would just write letters to people in their life but send it to 84 Charing Cross Road. I heard about this a long time ago and it sounded very interesting, and so when I saw it and it had the buy one get one 50% off, I was, deal, we're on. It is also very short, if you remember from my December book haul. I'm trying to get a bunch of good short books to read for this first half of the year. So I don't know if that one was the 50% off one or if this was the 50% off one. Oh Caledonia, a novel by Elspeth Barker. So it's, I think, a murder mystery. The description: a darkly humorous modern classic about a doomed adolescent girl, featuring a new introduction by Maggie O'Farrell, award-winning author of Hamnet. These cats, I tell you what. I don't know much about this one. It's got the what's it called, deckled edges, which is cool. Java's just decided to make a bed out of a plastic bag, so I'm sorry for what that does to the sound. The great thing about used books is you can buy them for nothing. I mean, compared to buying them new. So, at the used bookstore, I got 5 books for myself, and a handful for my my new nibbling, which is the gender-neutral term for, instead of having to say niece or nephew, just say nibbling. Anyway, book number 1, Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. It's the NG. I've heard people pronounce it before. I'm not sure the right way to pronounce it. About a Chinese-American family. The favorite child dies. A profoundly moving story of family secrets and longing. A gripping page-turner, sensitive family portrait, uncovering the ways in which mothers and daughters and fathers and sons and husbands and wives struggle all their lives to understand one another. It's also, I don't know which one is her most famous work, but she also wrote Little Fires Everywhere, which I believe is now a movie or a TV show. I've not read it. I haven't read anything by her, but I've heard of her a lot, and so I figured it was about dang time that I did. This one is The English Patient by Michael Ondaatje. It's basically about people after World War II dealing with the aftermath of that. I think it follows like 4 people, and one of them being the English patient, who is a nameless, burned man. I don't know. It is also now a movie or a TV show, and that's kind of why I picked it up. Best-selling novel, now major motion pictures from Miramax Films. This cover makes it look like it might be a little steamy, which I don't really read steamy books. So we'll see. It's also possibly the longest one. No, it's not the longest one in this. It is longer than many of the books in this pile. The Disobedience of Water by Sana Jeter Nosland. It's a series of short stories and novellas, which are different from short stories because they're longer. So Disobedience of Water is one of the short stories in this collection. Yeah, I really don't know anything about this author or anything. It just sounded very interesting by the title. It was a classic, don't judge a book by its cover. I definitely bought this book for the cover. Evoking passion and heartbreak, intelligence, unapologetic humanity, these 8 beautifully crafted stories explore the boundary conditions between the self and others. I don't know. Although, I have been burned a few times where I bought a book because it sounded cool, not knowing anything about the author, and then the author turned out to be crazy. Probably won't happen here. And then I got this book. Can't really talk about it though. Speaking of how I don't really read saucy, spicy, salacious books, they had a major sale on romance novels, and I've never really read a true romance novel. Like, I've read books that had romance in it, had some steamy scenes, but not one where that was like the point of the book. So I sat there and I looked at the books for a long time, and none of them really seemed my style because I don't read romance books. But I finally settled on A Time to Love, which is a candlelight ecstasy romance. Java is very distracted by this plastic bag. A Time to Love by Jackie Black. So basically, some people go on a ski vacation, and a ski weekend with a group of friends had thrown them together. He was divorced, she was committed to a memory. convinced that her husband's death had left a void nothing could ever fill. I don't know. It'll probably be silly. And then the last book that I bought, I should have been counting these. The last book that I bought for my own consumption this month is Anne of Green Gables. I had a really hard time finding an unabridged version, but I'm pretty sure this one is. When I was younger, we had like a 4 VHS set of Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea, I believe is the sequel. That is one of the book sequels, but I don't remember if that was the movie sequel that we had. Anyway, it is a classic. Girl goes and lives with her aunts, and she gets picked on a lot. But she's very bookish, but also like a tomboy, and like can take care of herself, and is a wild spirit. But anyway, a bunch of people were reading it last year, and I felt left out. Major FOMO. So I decided I would get it. I think this is generally seen as like a summer fall book, and I believe this one is probably like a middle grades kind of novel, so I don't think it will be particularly challenging to read. But it is kind of long, so I will probably wait till my classes are over. If I didn't mention it, I'm in my master's degree and also working full-time right now, and so that's why I'm reading shorter books the first half of the year. Graduate in May, fingers crossed, and then I can devote more time to reading. Alright, so how many books is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I bought 9 books for myself and 22 books for my nibbling. Ooh. I don't like that. 22 is my unlucky number, so I might need to buy another book for little nibbling, little bean. Or I could take one away, keep it for myself. So, I'm going to try and not buy any books in the month of February. That is the goal. We'll see how it goes. If there are any bookish type videos that you would like to see, one that I've been seeing quite a lot are people going through their whole book collection and counting how many they've read versus not read. So if you'd like to see that, let me know down below. Have you read any of these books? Do you recommend? Not recommend? What book in March should I buy next? Or what book should I read first out of this stack? Reading books, collecting books, and adding books to your TBR are 3 different hobbies. The internet has told me so. Like, subscribe. Good night, sweet dreams. See you next week.